How is everybody doing this fine day? I am having a very, very good day. I hope all of you are also. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you got everything you wanted out of the weekend. I hope that everybody is just happy, happy, joy, joy, because America is looking up. So tonight, join myself and Mark Lovelander. We're going to talk about on Evening Rants, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Evening Rants YouTube, Evening Rants Rumble, Evening Rants on Spreely, which is an app you can download right on your phone or right on your smart TV and watch us live. In fact, I'm live there right now. So you can watch us. You can watch us and all our old stuff on Spreely. And then I will also be having a 7 p.m. Eastern Time conversation about why we should never, ever, ever trust anybody that tried to have any type of bias towards the unvaccinated ever again. So I am having a good time in these last couple of weeks watching people fucking lose their goddamn shit. Literally had some people upset that they had was arguing with some people that had to said that they shouldn't have to send a report to Doge because they give reports to their boss. I thought it was funny because like it should be no big deal, like to tell the American people who are your actual boss what the fuck you're doing. But anyway, Tess Holliday did a TED Talk. I don't even fucking. She did a TEDx talk. I don't even know what to fucking say. These motherfuckers got 42.5 million subscribers on their YouTube channel. But they have this video listed as unlisted. I don't know if it was by her request, so people like me wouldn't find it. But this is the unlisted How to Reclaim Your Self-Worth by Tess Holliday on fucking TED Talks. I can't even fucking. Here's how fucked up you know it is. TED Talks will have people like her talk, but fitness people, not so much. Not so much. So let's just get this going. And I'm going to be stopping it a lot and making fun of her. And if that bothers you, you can fuck off. She's an objectively horrible person. Even if she was thin as fuck and in perfect health and promoted perfect health, she'd still be a shitty, fucking horrible human being. But let's get to it. By the way, I'm playing this at 1.5 speed. Or at least I will be. It's at 1.25. We're going to do 1.5 speed. A picture of her from 25 fucking years ago. Look at the difference. God, when she can't pick her camera angles, everybody check this out. Boom. Good fucking gravy. Good fucking. She looks like she's wearing a fat suit. She literally looks like she's wearing a fat suit.
Growing up in small town Mississippi, I was a little girl with big dreams.
Oh, she said little.
A love for sparkle and an imagination that took me far beyond my small hometown. Even as a child, I was told that my...
Look at her fucking with her own gravitational pull. God damn. So just to be clear, this, just the view of it is clearly half of her body height, especially if you take off the fucking the shoes that are made with adamantium to fucking support her weight. But this wide is literally half her height, right? Take off fucking about 3 inches for the fucking hair too. So just visually, just on a line, not the actual circumference, but visually, since it's both sides, it would be her waist to height ratio would be more than 1. Now you do the circumference and you realize that that's the view from front, side, back. Her waist to height ratio is probably in the 1.3 something area. That is fucking wild. That's insane. And then she's going to speak from a place of authority. But look at that.
My body was wrong, that I took up too much space.
You do take up too much space.
I didn't fit the mold.
Well, you poured out over the mold.
Beauty, as I saw it around me, was something defined that I would never see in the mirror. And so...
You still have it. You just lie to yourself. Just still have it. You just lie to yourself all the time. She's like, oh, I'm so pretty. No, you look like disease. I know people will be like, oh, she's got such a pretty face. Does she? I'm sorry. She doesn't have a pretty face. She's got a pretty fat face. So because being fat is bad for you and you shouldn't be fat, she wouldn't have a fat face. So would she be attractive? Probably not. And to find her attractive anyway, and I mean in any way, that's a fetish. That's not an attraction. Seriously, like it's such a like a circus fucking fetish. It's like you must have like the clown nose and clown shoes and everything like that, and that's like your fucking, that's how you get freaky. Like you dress up as a clown, she's the fat woman, and you know in the background you hear I mean that's your apparently that's your kind of like sexual fantasy porno, because she's circus fat woman size. Wild. Just wild.
So began a lesson society teaches many of us, that in order to fit in, we must shrink ourselves.
Already out of breath. She's like huffing already.
Picture this, 6th grade. I'm signing up for my first beauty pageant. I was so...
Hope she doesn't pass out, because they wouldn't need to fucking pull in the heavy equipment.
So excited, but truthfully, I had no idea what I was up against. I looked around at my other classmates, and in their eyes, I saw it. I was the fat girl, the one they dared.
You are. You were. And you always will be.
Not to stand too close to. Being friends with me was a gamble.
No, her face is always a factor.
As they shared their interests, the other contestants said, gymnastics, Tweety Bird. Sorry, you guys, I'm so nervous, but I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Embarrassment. You're nervous and embarrassed because you realize you're talking a whole bunch of fucking bullshit that's going to get broadcast across the fucking world. I mean, that's the fucking reality. Like, you know, you're standing in front of a large group of people and being recorded saying ridiculous, stupid, fucking clearly not true shit.
So we're going to rewind it back because I don't want to forget this part. Unable to find a dress within my size and budget, my grandmother hired someone from church to give me my Cinderella moment. The other contestants shared their interests, cheerleading, gymnastics, and then there was me. I like hanging out with my family, swimming, and collecting Tweety Bird. Silence. The crowd, the judges, no one knew what to do with me.
Because you are saying how you are sedentary and everybody else is saying is how they're moving. You just explained why you were the fat kid. Like, how do you not see this? You literally just explained why you were the fucking fat kid.
I didn't place. That
because you're lazy. Literally, they explained why they did shit. You explained that you didn't do shit. You're not going to win that, and you're fat. It's a beauty contest. I'm sorry, it's not beautiful. It's just not. It looks unhealthy. Therefore, it's not beautiful. It's not. It's self-harm. Like self-harm is not. It would even be different. Like if like a burn victim is like finds confidence in how they look or something like that. That can be beautiful, right? Because it's the person not harming themselves, the person like evolving more about themselves, right? But you're harming yourself every fucking day. Every fucking day. It's self-harm with food. That's not beautiful ever, whatsoever. That's like saying like a junkie is beautiful. Junkies are not beautiful. I don't give a fuck what they fucking look like. Junkies are not attractive. Neither is this. This is a junkie. People just don't understand that. This is a person that's so addicted to food that they would rather eat themselves to this than be a good mother, than be a good fucking spouse, than be a good fucking person. They love food so much, they're so addicted to food, they'd rather do this. Just like the alcoholic is so addicted to alcohol that they don't give a fuck how fucked up it makes them and how poorly they treat the people around them because of their alcoholism. Just like junkies lie and they steal and all sorts of stuff. Fucking fat people lie all the fucking time about how they eat. All the fucking time. Fat people lie. It's the correlation between her and a junkie is just a different look. It's just a different form of self-harm.
Night, I learned a powerful lesson that I had to spend years unlearning, that I couldn't trust the voice in my head, that I didn't belong.
You couldn't trust the voice in your head saying, we're going to die if we keep eating this shit. You fucking shut that motherfucker down. Listen to her breathing.
And that society wasn't ready to see me, let alone celebrate me.
Why the fuck would you be celebrated? Why the fuck would we celebrate somebody that hurts themselves every fucking day? This is the problem with fat acceptance to begin with. We shouldn't be celebrating very serious negative fucking issues. Like this, obesity comes from overconsumption, period. And people are like, oh, I have a condition. The condition would make it more important to try to stay healthy. How do people not understand that shit? How do you, like, if you have hypothyroidism and PCOS, it makes it more important that you don't eat shit food. It makes it more important that you get daily activity. It makes it more important that you hydrate correctly. It makes it more important that you get proper stress relief. It makes it more important that you eat mindfully and stay away from ultra-processed foods. It makes it more important. Like, we should not be celebrating this at the fuck all. Like, we should not be celebrating her physical status at all whatsoever. It should be a cautionary fucking tale.
But here's the thing. That little girl that stood on that stage is the reason I'm standing on this stage today.
Because you allowed her to lie to herself for fucking decades to become you. You allowed to lie to her, like you allowed her to keep harming herself for decades. You're proud of that? Like you're proud of being 450, 500 pounds on that fucking stage? You're proud of that? That's mental illness. That's fucking serious ass mental illness.
Because belonging isn't something society decides for us. We can fight to decide that for ourselves. It took a long time.
You don't belong. You know how you know you don't belong? Because if all of a sudden the fucking lights went out, you'd be like, you people be fucked. Like you'd be fucked. You don't belong. We fucking support you. You are a disproportionate burden on society that if we did not, in fact, enable you to stay that fucking fat, you would not have a fucking place in society. You overconsume our fucking resources. And many people are reaching a point where they're over that shit. Many people, and they should. You guys are a fucking detriment to everybody, selfishly.
But as I grew up, I stopped asking why I couldn't fit into spaces I was told I didn't belong. Instead, I created my own space, my own path, and my own movement.
And just a month ago, she was crying that she can't find employment.
10 years ago, I founded F Your Beauty Standards, and it became a global call for change. That was more.
That she then stole people's money for the t-shirts that she said she was going to donate to a domestic violence organization and didn't until she was forced to. And I still don't know if she ever actually did. That's all true. You can look that shit up.
More than a hashtag. It was a movement for anyone who had ever felt invisible. I wasn't just shouting into the void anymore about self-acceptance.
You feel invisible. No, people see you. Trust me. People see you. You're not invisible. They're just being polite by not saying something. They shouldn't have treated you that way, Tess. They should have told you, God damn, you are fucking fat. You should lose weight. If people ignored you, if people treated you like you were invisible because you were 500 fucking pounds, it's because they were trying to save your fucking feelings, which is not actually that nice to you. If people really gave a fuck about you, they would say, I see you. I see that you hurt yourself every day with food and you should stop that shit. That's what they should say.
I had created a space where people like me could hear thousands of voices that relate to them and support them.
And then you could hear them breathing, having a hard time standing.
People began reclaiming their right to be seen and heard, sharing images of their bodies, their beauty, and their power.
Look just the fucking behemoth that she is. My God.
Every post, every story was a testament that beauty isn't limited to a single standard. You see my journey from a
She's gasping for breath.
small town girl, imagining big dreams in a world that she was always told she was too much, to standing here today. It has taught me that change begins from within. If I had let their opinions dictate my worth, I wouldn't be here today.
Where are you? You're speaking at a TED Talk. Congratulations. You are an unemployed sideshow attraction. How do you think the next 10, 20 years is going to go for you? For real, how do you think this is going to go? Especially now that we're actually we're not lying to everybody anymore, and we're going to make America healthy again. Where do you think you fit into that? You fucking don't. You know why? Because you're fucking huge by your own goddamn hand.
Confidence has brought me to places I never dreamt of, from billboards to boardrooms. Today, I am working with brands like Pinterest to help make their platforms safer and more inclusive by using AI technology.
Safer and more inclusive. Well, Pinterest is going to go under.
Helped H&M create campaigns that showcase real body diversity. I've even stood before the United Nations to talk about why representation is essential.
Yeah, she broke it down. When she was in front of the UN, she said it was about racism. No shit. No shit.
And how body and mental health issues aren't just about beauty, but a true global health concern.
How you doing, Sarah?
But for me, it was never about just being in the room. It was about making sure that others got there as well. Because my fight isn't just about body. It isn't even just about me. It's about a brave, fierce belief that our voices matter.
The woman who has eaten herself to deformity, like, look at her, is telling you how brave she is.
Say a rising tide lifts all boats, and when we fight for ourselves, we also fight for each other and everyone.
A rising tide lifts all boats. It depends on the weight capacity of the boat, Tess. You realize that, right? It depends on the weight capacity of the boat. Like, just so we're aware, right? Like, there's a thing called water displacement. Like,
one wins. Like recently, I was sitting in a boardroom of a major global brand, the place where big decisions are made. I was there because they wanted to discuss with me how they could make the brand more inclusive. But as I looked around the room, there was one person remotely close to my size. Diversity can't just be a checked box. It has
diversity. I got a newsflash for you. Diversity should be something for people who can't change what the things about them. Not fucking very clearly. Like, I looked around and there was nobody built like me. Because the circus wasn't in fucking town. You understand that, right?
Has to be built into our foundations. Real change happens not just when we're in the room, but when we are valued, heard, and involved in the decision making. Representation matters, and it changed the trajectory of my life, and it can change all of our lives. And it's a funny thing.
This is where I think she has a basic misunderstanding about her whole career. It wasn't about representation. You were a fucking shock attraction. Like, you didn't model. Like the famous runway walk she did with the sample size dress. That wasn't a model runway walk. That was a political statement shock value moment. Like, look, we fucking craned this fucking enormous person onto this clearly reinforced stage, and we didn't even have a dress for them, so we slapped together a whole bunch of things that said sample size to basically wrap her up in. Looks like fucking toilet paper with sample size written on it. And then she barely could fucking walk down the goddamn fucking runway and then fucking barely walk back. That wasn't modeling. That was publicity. That was shock value stunt. Like you weren't a model. Nobody looked at you and be like, oh, I want to look like that, or wow, that's an attractive. Nobody deep down looks at you like that because you have done this to yourself, because you have eaten yourself to deformity. Reality exists.
When people ask me, how did you become successful? How did your life change in the way that it did? I nearly always say delusion. And people
I will absolutely fucking agree with that. You were definitely deluded.
laugh, like some of you. I know you're laughing, because it was funny, right? But really,
you shouldn't have to ask the crowd to laugh. I'm just saying. You shouldn't have to ask it. As somebody that's done lots of talks, then I try to add humor into all my talks. You shouldn't have to ask the crowd to fucking laugh. They just realized you said something very true, that you were deluded. Like that's why they didn't laugh, because they didn't realize it was a joke, because it was just plainly true that you're deluded. That's how you got here.
some people do think I'm a bit delusional to feel like I belong. But
very.
That so-called delusion is what saved me. It's what gave me the audacity to believe I could change things. RuPaul once said,
what have you changed? What have you changed? At this point in time, the pendulum is swinging so hard on the fat acceptance movement. Look at the Twitter comments. I mean, look at the fucking, even look at Instagram comments about fat people who had even last year been posting, and everybody was like, slay queen, slay, and you're awesome and so pretty. Look at the comments now. The comments now are not friendly, and they shouldn't be, because people are fucking deluded, like Tess
said, what other people think of me is none of my business. Those words became my armor.
She just stole one of my fucking lines, really, but what the fuck?
On reality TV, they say, I didn't come here to make friends. Well, I didn't come here to make anyone comfortable. I am here.
Especially the person she was sitting next to on a plane.
Because I fought for my right to exist and be seen. My body is an act of resistance.
Resistance from what? Not ho-hos, not donuts. You're not resisting no fucking donuts. You're not resisting pizza. What is your body a symbol of resistance from? Like for real, like reality, like it's resistance from reality. It's resistance from not hurting yourself every day. Like resistance. Get the fuck out of here. Oh my God. Get the fuck out of here. I can't even believe she said that shit. Oh my God.
A reminder that I don't need society's permission to take up space, and neither do you. You build your dreams.
So actually, I would really hope that you don't. And the way we can make it that you don't, Tess, is for you to have to pay for all of your health care that came from anything lifestyle driven out of your own pocket 100%. I bet you'd change your tune real fucking fast. That's where I'm at with this shit. The reality is, these people talk a lot of shit like, I have a right to do this. I have a right to be this fat. I have a right to eat whatever I want. Sure. If we can change one fucking thing, if we can change one thing, if you have a waist to height ratio above 0.6, all healthcare for any lifestyle driven chronic illness, you pay out of your own pocket. 100%. Then it's not affecting me. It's actually still affecting me, because this woman is going to take up more resources when it comes to healthcare, no matter what. This woman's going to take up more space. This woman's going to take up more food. This is fucking privilege. But at least it won't fucking raise the price of healthcare. 0.60 is the cutoff for obesity for waist to height ratio. 0.6. So if your waist measurement right underneath your floating ribs, right about an inch or two above your belly button, if that divided by your height, if that measurement divided by your height is more than 0.6, you should have to pay for all of your own healthcare out of your own pocket. As far as I'm concerned, we should give it 90 days. If you need healthcare, if you need a prescription filled or something like that, and your waist to height ratio is 0.65, of course, let's give you the fucking let's give you 90 days to fix that shit. But very frankly, after that, it should all be on you. So you're not so independent, like if you've eaten yourself to physical deformity like this, you've also eaten yourself to frailty and sickness and illness, and then we are fucking paying for it. So if you think that you are like some act of resistance, you exist because society for right now coddles the fuck out of you so you can exist. Just being real. Dear fat people, this is no shit. How the fuck do you think your lives would be if society didn't coddle this shit no more? Right? I mean, here's the thing. It would get better because you couldn't afford to be sick. Right now, you can afford to be sick because you spread the cost to all of us. But if you couldn't afford to be sick, it would be a whole different scenario. If you couldn't fucking afford, if you develop type 2 diabetes because you're 300 fucking pounds and you had to pay for the insulin and diabetes medications and stuff like that out of your pocket and couldn't access through insurance, you'd have less money to eat food. There'd be equilibrium. There'd be balance. But right now, you are fucking coddled. You are fucking supported by society. This woman is literally coddled by society. You're not some fucking warrior. You're not stamping your own ground. You exist because society coddles you to enable you to exist in your present state. And that's reality.
On your own delusional terms. I had to believe in a world where I belonged and hold on to that vision until it became real. And there were so many moments that it did not feel real. Not when I was going to high school in an abandoned Walmart in Large.
You want to know something crazy? All the pictures of her on those magazines, she weighs a lot less than she does now. That's wild.
Mississippi. Not when I was going on model castings and they were telling me that I was too short and too fat as they laughed at me.
Because you're too short and too fat to be a model. And the ones that hired you, it was just for the shock of you being fat. You're not a model.
And sometimes, not even now. Because loving yourself is the goal, but it's not perfect. Sometimes it's...
If you love yourself, you wouldn't eat yourself to this. You wouldn't do this to yourself every day. You don't love yourself. Not one person who weighs 300, not one person who's morbidly obese can tell me that they love themselves the way they are. Because you have hurt yourself to get yourself to that point.
Tolerating yourself. Sometimes when the voices around you are too loud, and trust me, you can look at my comments and DMs, there are plenty of them. The goal is continuing to stand up. So here I am.
You're barely standing right now.
Not because I fit society's definition of a supermodel. Far from it.
It's because you aren't a model. You never have been. You were a sideshow attraction. One more time.
But because I refuse to let anyone define me. My body is an act of defiance.
Gravity defines you, and you're not defying anything. You're defying, defying health. You're defying that, people that are saying you're a disproportionate burden to society. You're not defying any societal standards. You're being coddled. There's a huge fucking difference. You're not some fucking trailblazing warrior. You are just you're the end result of people wanting to not be seen as the bad guy by telling you shit that's absolutely fucking true. That's the truth.
Declaration that I belong. If that little girl in Mississippi had seen someone like her on a magazine cover, maybe she wouldn't have felt so alone. So let's build a world where every person feels seen, valued, and heard. Which is easy to say, right? But how? Well, it starts by challenging the voices in our own head. Not only how we see ourselves, but how we see the world around us. So, let's do this. Close your eyes.
Totally out of breath. Totally fucking gassed. Totally. I love it.
Take a breath. And think about the time that you last judged someone for how they show up in the world.
I'm calling you a fat ass, so I'm judging you right now.
About their clothes, their education.
You look like you're wearing a car cover. Your education, you sound like you barely can do math.
Their appearance.
You're ugly.
When was the last time that you judged someone for being too much?
Right now.
Was it today?
Minutes ago.
Was it yesterday? Was it this evening when you sat down to listen to my speech? Because if it was recently, and let's be honest, it was for many of us, then we still have work to do. But it's wonderful work that will bring us closer together as a community.
No, it won't. It'll bring you closer to death as a community.
Work of reminding ourselves that we are all worthy. We can all.
No, you're not. You're not worthy. You haven't earned your worth. You are being coddled. You are being subsidized. Your entire world is being subsidized. You spread the cost of your overconsumption in food to everybody else by rising food costs. You spread the cost of healthcare by using more of that to everybody else. You are being allowed to exist by society. Society should rectify that shit. Society should say, if you want to exist like that, you got to do it all on your own. We're not going to subsidize you. We're not going to coddle you, nothing like that. And now this shit would end. This shit would change.
All build a future where every body, every ability, and every individual can exist. And no one.
You can exist, but like you can't exist without like being without reality. Like, wow.
Not strangers, online trolls, or an entire industry can take that away from us. Together, we can.
She sounds so bitter about the industry and online trolls and shit like that. Somebody just pointed out she loves to judge men. She judges white men so much, it's wild. So, but that's allowed in society today. It's allowed. It's perfectly fine to be racist towards me because I'm a white male. So I laugh at that shit. That's funny.
You can build a world where self-acceptance is the norm, where you don't have to apologize for being too much.
You should apologize to everybody in your close vicinity for taking up so much space. It's greedy. It's privileged. And it likely smells bad.
Where no one has to apologize. And you know what? In the end, I like being too much because it has given me an entire beautiful life.
She cries online every other day about her life. Every other day.
So take up space, own it all, and don't hold back.
She's crying because she knows she's full of shit.
Trust me, the world will make room.
She complains about the world all the time. It's so fucking funny. So funny. Oh my goodness. Wild. First, I want to get to this real quick. Thank you for the tip. Appreciate you. Now I'll do a little Q&A. By the way, one more time here, folks. Boom, here's where you can get our coaching. Month-to-month coaching, 3 months coaching, 6 months coaching for Make America Healthy Again. Please do join us if you are having trouble containing your weight, if you're having trouble building healthy habits, if you bounced up and down in your habits often, please do check in with us. We would appreciate it. She's a terrible woman, I know. My waist height ratio is 0.47. That is out fucking standing. That's good. You're in the healthy range. The healthy range, I say. Let's see. What else we got going on? Yeah, TED Talks have lost all credibility. They really have. This is just embarrassing American culture. It really is. Like, it's embarrassing. It truly is. For us to even fucking try to pretend like that is, in any way what we should be proud of. Like, oh, we have such diversity. Look at this circus person. Fucking wild. Just so wild. Can't wait until I can afford your services. Your free advice has helped me lose over 30 pounds. Camilla, that is awesome. Thank you very much. And we may run a big deal here soon. I don't know, but I doubt it though, just because we're full. Like we'll take we can take month to month, 3 months, and 6 months, but the year deals we just can't do right now. So I've gotten the dishes done, 4 loads of laundry, and fixed the silverware drawer all before 2:30. Hell yeah! She's asking for acceptance. She absolutely is. That's exactly what it is. I recently watched My 600-Pound Life. There was a woman on there a couple episodes ago with the longest apron belly I have ever seen. Never seen anything like it. Almost hit the floor. It gets kind of incredible. I feel bad that she did that to herself, but she definitely should have that removed. Otherwise, it's going to cause problems. Lots and lots of problems. I have a hard time finding pants that fit now in between sizes. I've been there, done that. All right, folks. Any last questions real quick before I hop on? By the way, 7 p.m. Eastern time tonight, I will be on really upsetting people. Like really, I'm just letting you know, I'm going to be really upsetting people. So please do check that out. It'll be on all my things. Go Oh, hang on a second. Huh, okay. Sorry about that. Let's check something. All right, hang on. Thanks to you and my partner, I've amped up my gym days 5 days a week. That's awesome. Great fucking job. And this is not the first time they had a morbidly obese woman on preaching to people about fat phobia. Kelly Drinkwater, I believe. Fucking ridiculous. Thank you very much. I'll check that one out too. So listen, folks, I'm going to go cook up a steak or two. Hope all of you have a great, great, great evening. We'll see you again at 7 p.m. Eastern time on these channels and then 8 p.m. Eastern time on Evening Rants. Hoping we get some interesting stuff coming out from Kash Patel's first day as the head of the FBI. God damn.
The Holy Trinity Bundle isn't just about weight loss, it's about empowering you to find your healthiest, happiest self. Let's talk about what's in the bundle and how it caters specifically to our needs. First, we got Ember, which is not just any fat burner. It's also going to boost your mood, your energy levels, while also suppressing your appetite. And if you're worried about it being too strong, you can split the tablet in half to tailor its impact. Next, we have Alchemy NCT, which turns the carbs that you eat into energy and not fat. Yes, energy, not fat. This is our way of making sure that the meals that you eat contribute positively to your weight loss journey. And girls, we all know that we want that. And finally, no morbidity. This one's my favorite because it works while you sleep. It burns fat and controls those nighttime cravings without any stimulants, so you wake up feeling refreshed. Try it out and feel the genuine difference. Here's to new beginnings and real results.